the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
How you high
Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in the front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her.
What the fuck?
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches. What is going on, folks? Welcome back to another Sunday night recap with your boys here. I am your co-host, Jalen Brown.
I'm your other very happy co-host, Malin Dennis.
And I'm your other co-host, Junebug Spade.
And rolling out of their 253, happier than a toker that just burnt one, I am G-Money.
Oh, gentlemen, the beatdown we just witnessed between the Seahawks and the Commanders. Seahawks win it 38-14 was the final score. And this game was over quick, fast, and in a hurry. The Seahawks dispatched their enemy very promptly and made this a very boring night. Very, I was struggling to stay awake, not going to lie, after halftime. But
It was pretty exciting for me.
I'm glad. I'm glad. So, let's start breaking this one down. Sam Darnold had a hell of a night. I mean, this has got to be one of his best career games. I would think so. 21 of 24, 330 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. Malin, I'm going to start with you. What did you think of Sam Darnold's performance tonight?
I just love the efficiency of it. And it wasn't like he started 17 for 17 with 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. He didn't throw a pick until you put it in the Discord and it was going to be an early night. So that's kind of your fault.
All right.
Chop that one up to you. But it's not like he was even like checking the ball down. He was throwing it down the field. I loved the offensive line play. I loved his decision making. I loved that he just seemed in command the whole night. Like anything he wanted to do, he was able to do it. So I think that when G Money and I were talking about, hey, are we going to get the Sam Darnold, like before the year, G Money and I were always talking, are we going to get Sam Darnold of the Jets, or are we going to get Sam Darnold of the Vikings? And to be honest with you right now, I think we're getting a little bit better than what we saw from Sam Darnold, even with the Vikings, because, I love JSN. I love a wide receiver core, but we're not Justin Jefferson. We're like our number 2 right now, even with Kupp there, is not as good as Addison. Like, Darnold had a lot of weapons in Minnesota, and that team was rolling for a long time. He has been very efficient this year. He's playing just, in my opinion, just standout football. He's not putting the ball in harm's way outside of a couple times. I love what I saw tonight. It was just efficient. It was like a surgeon with a scalpel, man. He was great tonight.
G Money, what did you think of Sam Darnold tonight?
Yeah, he was definitely Viking-esque. When you look back at last year and how he played with the Vikings or how he played this today. And to be honest, his first 3 touchdowns weren't even to, well, actually his 4 touchdowns weren't to JSN.
No.
But driving down the field, that first quarter, he hit Horton for a touchdown, and then he hit the tight end, I think Arroyo for a touchdown, then he hit Horton for another touchdown. He didn't even throw a pass to JSN.
Yep.
I mean, basically they used JSN as a diversion for the defense to key on him, saying, well, we'll make Sam Darnold throw to their other receivers. And that's exactly what he did. And at one point, he was 14 for 14 without even throwing a pass to JSN. So, yeah, except for that bad interception. And we have seen this from him this season where he makes a bad decision or he throws a ball that's not this little off target and the receiver is covered and it turns into an interception. If he could eliminate those plays, he'd be better than what he was with Minnesota last year. But yeah, super impressed with the play. Wasn't sure what we were going to get. And, with Pete Carroll, you always knew that coming off of a bye, you were going to win that game. For some reason, Pete had that ability to get the team up after a bye and go out and win. Weren't sure with Mike McDonald what was going to happen, if he was going to be able to get the team up and have us win. But man, we won, and we won convincingly. And yes, Sam Darnold is going to be, unless he totally reverts to his pre-Minnesota days, what he was in Minnesota. Maybe a little bit better. But even if he is at the even if he is the same quarterback he was in Minnesota, I think our O-line is a little better than what he had in Minnesota. I think they're playing better now than what his line started playing with him towards this time last year. So yeah, impressed.
Yeah, June, I'm gonna ask you what impressed you most about the Seahawks outside of Sam Darnold. If we remove him, what else were you impressed with from Seattle?
I love the Seattle defense. They were flying all over the place. I mean, that run that I'm about to say RG3 that Jaden Daniels had made, and he chased them down. I forgot what's that guy's name, the Samoan guy. He chased them down and then hit his foot at the last second. Oh my goodness, man! I was like, why can't we have a player like that on my team? But that just tells you what the coach who came from, Baltimore, what Baltimore defense was, and what Seattle's defense is going to be going forward. He's going to build that defense up, and at some point, it's not going to even matter who's at the quarterback, who's on offense, as long as that person is efficient, like Malin and G Money said. It's going to be about efficiency on offense, and the defense is going to take over because that defense was flying around, and they confused Jaden Daniel. I hate for the young man to get hurt, but that defense confused him all night. And the one thing they did, and I want to bring this up before I know we're going to get to Washington, but and we get to Washington, I'll break it down. But the running numbers, they really attacked that running game against the Washington offense, and they had that game plan to make Jaden Daniels beat them. And I thought that was a great game plan by the Seattle.
That's one of the great things about Seattle's defense is they're number one against the run. They're only allowing about 76 yards a game. They have not allowed a 100-yard rusher. And yeah, I mean, you have even Baltimore fans asking, why didn't we get rid of Harbaugh and make McDonald our coach? Because I feel like we really got the right guy. That, like you said, June, that defense is flying all over the place. It's been flying all over the place. Only one game this season have we allowed more than 20 points scored. Only one. So yeah.
Yeah, the defense is hitting some pretty elite levels when the NBC has to bust out the Legion of Boom graphic at some point during the night. I was like, oh here we go.
I don't think they're Legion of Boom yet. They're not Legion of Boom yet, but
They're going to be.
they
though.
are
I think
flying
they're
all
going to
over
be.
the place. And
Yeah.
we still got injuries on that defense, Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
Our starting safety, Love, has only played 2 games this year. We just had to put him on IR. And we just got our best cornerback back this game. He missed all but one game before this. I think he got hurt against the Niners, or maybe in the second game he got hurt, and he never came back. So we got our best defensive back. But our defensive line is incredible right now.
And it's deep, too. And that defensive line is deep. That's another big thing that you guys have going for you.
Yeah, they are just so fast. I mean, for dudes that size who can move as quick as they can and just disrupt everything. Like if the quarterback's not under pressure, they've got their hands up, they're tipping a pass. They're just rushing everything and making everyone super uncomfortable in some shape way or another. And it was on full display tonight. Jaden Daniels I've never seen him look that bewildered.
Well, he also was, they mentioned this in the third quarter, midway through the third quarter. He had been pressured on 54% of his dropbacks. That was the most he had been pressured in his career, which is only a year and a half. I know that. But you're right. He did lose. But to me, Jalen, the best play of the night on the defense, and G Money's going to know this, when they threw a screen out to Debo and Emanuori, our rookie out of South Carolina, was like the wide receiver had him jammed up. He got an arm out there, one arm, and grabbed Debo and spun him right with one arm with a wide receiver all over him. I was like, yeah, that's Seattle's defense right now. That's just what they're doing.
When I saw that, I was like, that's just too good. That was just unbelievable.
I saw that.
And Emanuori missed 4 games this year before he even came back.
Yeah.
It was just 4 or 5 games.
Yeah. I mean,
So
the interesting thing about
3 snaps in week 1 and came back like 2 games ago.
And the interesting thing about the defense, at least the way they started out, is they started out with 4 D linemen, a linebacker, and the rest were DBs and safeties. And that's got to confuse Daniels at that point. You're coming out and you're going like, where the hell are the linebackers? And you move Emanuori up on the line there to where it looks like he's playing linebacker, but he's not. He drops back into coverage. He rushes, and we didn't blitz. The crazy thing is we got all those pressures off just the 4 D linemen, and that is Legion of Boom like, because when we were good, when our defense rocked, we didn't have to blitz. Our D line got to the quarterback, and it made the DBs look even better than what they were. Because if I cut down the time you have to throw that ball, then you can't go through your progression. If you can't go through your progression, if your number 1 is covered and you don't have the chance to look at your number 2, it's going to be a long night for that quarterback. And that's what happened with Daniels. It was a long night for him because he didn't have the opportunity, for the most part, to look for his secondary or tertiary receivers. And that's why you saw him scrambling and running. And even then, he didn't really break off any big runs. Nope.
They contained him.
I mean, Leonard Williams rushed him and then turned around and chased him down and tackled him. And he only got a 7.5-yard gain. And I'm like, your D lineman is doing that, is rushing, getting caught up in the O-line, and then turning around and rushing and tackling him and bringing him down for only a 7.5, 8-yard gain. Like that's commitment. And that's what McDaniels wants to see. He wants to see that from his defense. Just because you're rushing the quarterback, if he runs, you got to turn around and tackle him. Everybody has to tackle, because if you're not going to tackle, you're not going to play on the Seahawks. He'll cut you or trade you. He showed that last year. So, yeah, this defense may not be Legion of Boom yet, but it's going to be something a lot closer to them by the end of this season. especially if we can get all our DBs playing at the same time.
Switching gears a bit to the Commanders, there really isn't much to say about Washington tonight. But June, I would want to ask you this because you mentioned it earlier.
Two on the bar.
With Jane, like at the point where the game was already completely out of control. If you're Dan Quinn, are you keeping Jaden Daniels in that game, fourth quarter and beyond?
Absolutely not. He just came off a hamstring. He's a young guy. This is the time where you bring him out the game. You sit him over there with the offensive coordinator, and the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach just start having conversations with him. They just start having conversations. This is the teaching moment. This is your chance to teach him and say, this is what we want to do going forward. This is what we need to do. There's no reason. You're not coming back in this game because the Seahawks are not going to let up. So, because the Seahawks are like, you know what? If you want to leave him in the game, we'll leave our people in the game and we'll just keep scoring. That's what it came down to. They had no chance of coming back. They didn't have a running game. At the point that he went out the game, I'm talking about at the point that Daniels went out the game, he was the leading rusher at 51 yards. Yeah. Rodriguez had 35, and Krosky Merritt had 29 yards. Now, Rodriguez ended up with 65 because, of course, he stayed in the game. Those numbers are skewed.
Yeah, because we had our backup.
Yeah, you're not winning the game at this point, okay? And you're not winning the game at all if you can't control the clock. They just kept going in and out, and Debo 5 for 41, 5 catches for 41 yards. Yes, your other receivers are out. Zach Ertz 4 for 46. You got to get some yak. Debo is a guy who's known for getting yak. He didn't get any. As soon as he caught the ball, he was tackled. So that's not helping this offense. This offense, Cliff Kingsbury offense is about run after the catch, and then every once in a while you're going to drop back and get that deep pass, right? But they have a lot of problems, but this season's over now. It's a wash. It is 100% a wash. Unfortunately, Jaden Daniels is going to have a broken arm or dislocated elbow, so this season is a wash. But yes, 100%, why is he in the damn game?
Yeah.
Why is he in the game? And, you're talking about him getting ran down. I guarantee you, a lot of those rundowns, he couldn't make those cuts because he probably still suffering the effects of that hamstring. Well, he couldn't cut. He couldn't get away. And so, I don't know. They got a lot of talking to do. And Dan Quinn, I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't know if Dan Quinn is going to be the coach.
Oh, he'll still be the coach. He'll still be the coach next year.
Someone's job on you.
I know he is. I mean, the fact that he hasn't called the secondary trash yet for Washington is surprising to me. But you're right though. Like it was 38-7 with 7 minutes left in the game. I think it was when Daniels got hurt. Like you're not winning that game. And like you said, it was his first week back from a hamstring. And he's going to try to make plays, but I mean, shit, like it wasn't smart on his part. It wasn't smart on Washington to have him out there. That was just a needless play for him to get hurt on. And the fact that Seattle now is ruined the career of RG3. I know we did that back in 2012 in the playoff game against him. And now we heard Jaden Daniels, Washington fans, they're gonna start making some voodoo dolls against Seattle. I thought at first when he went down that it was a knee, and I'm thankful that it wasn't a knee and that it was his non-throwing elbow. So he should be able to come back good next year. But it still sucked, and even G Money and I were talking about this. We you always want to win the game, but you never want somebody like Jaden Daniels to miss the rest of the year. You want those top second-year quarterbacks to still be playing. So the fact that he's going to miss, and the crazy thing is, is it with the way these quarterbacks have been playing, man. Like he won Rookie of the Year last year, and then you got Drake May coming out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Bo Nix balling out. You got Caleb Williams. We better talk about that Bengals Chicago game on Tuesday. Like all of a sudden, like halfway through a year, Jaden Daniels is looking like the fourth best quarterback out of that draft class after he won Rookie of the Year, and then he dislocates his elbow and he's done for the year, and everybody else going to be shining. It's unfortunate. It sucks. I know that June is happy that Washington's not going to be anything, but
so
I mean, at least you guys can't be fourth place.
yeah,
You guys
that's true.
stay third
Don't
place.
speak so soon.
Hey, let me tell you something real quick. To the two Seattleites. I don't know if you know, but did you know that Washington gave Seattle some billboard material, some bulletin board material this week?
Oh, what'd they do?
So apparently, one of the defensive ends from Washington, I was listening to the radio, and he said, and so they was interviewing him, and it was a pretty big interview, and it was like, oh, are you guys going to be worried about Jackson? What's his name? Jackson Smith and Nick.
Smith and Jigma.
Yeah. So he was like, oh, who was that?
What a clown.
He said, who was that? And it was like, their leading receiver. He's like, oh, I'm not. He said, oh, that's for the defensive backs to worry about. I don't worry about them. And so then the sportscasters was talking about it all week, and then I guess people from Seattle started calling in, and I think it got back to the team. So I thought that was funny.
You know the funny thing, Jalen, is that Sam Darnold threw 4 touchdowns, not one the JSN, yet he still caught 8 balls for 129 yards.
Yeah.
He was still balling.
And they held him out most of the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
He was still wide open. So in fact, one of the touchdowns that was thrown, I think, to Barner, JSN was wide open on the second read. He didn't decide to throw it to Barner, he could have thrown it to JSN. I kind of wish he did, because I'm going to lose fantasy to G Money this week, which is some bullshit.
To some City 1-6 team that has players you've never heard of before starting.
Yeah. Because Sam Darnold ripped off 27 points tonight, and not one touchdown was thrown to JSN.
That's crazy.
So I'm only up 3 points, and he got Marvin Harrison Jr. tomorrow night. So I'm going to lose the G Money, so that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
That's what you say.
My kind of final question for you guys, at least for the Seattle fans here, it was like, when was the last time you guys could remember a win this dominant in a prime time?
A few weeks ago when we beat the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't like a prime time game, not the.
Oh, like a primetime game?
Like
we normally play really well in primetime. We have a winning record.
We do.
In fact, we have the best winning percentage in Monday Night Football, damn near 70%. We play really well in primetime. But if you want to talk about a primetime win where we really beat the shit out of somebody, off the top of my head, I remember beating on Sunday Night Football. I remember beating the 49ers 29-3 back in 2013. I remember on a Sunday Night Football, we beat Philly 42-0. We went to the Super Bowl back in 2005. We beat the hell out of the Saints at one point, 34-7. I think at one point. I think that was 2014. We do really well on primetime. Whenever I see a primetime game, I'm thinking that's going to be a W. We do pretty well on this.
We do. We were, at least under Pete Carroll, we were 14-2.
Yeah.
And that's insane. 14-2.
Hey, I remember a game we beat. We beat the brakes off in New England one time. I think it was 2016. That was neat.
I can't recall that one, but
Yeah, whatever. I'm sure you can't. We had a running back from Notre Dame. What was his name, Gary?
Procer.
Procyse.
Yeah.
Procyse. Procyse went off
Yeah.
for like 143 yards receiving in that game, and then you never heard of him.
What happened to him?
He got hurt. He was a little bitch, whatever. But he had one good game against New England, so I'll take that.
I got a question for the Seattle fans. With the losses that happened in the NFC today of some of the top teams, how are you feeling now about your team?
I don't think that you can. Now, G Money and I, by just who we are as a person, we are pessimists. Okay.
really,
That's why I told Jalen that I hope that Drake May tears both of his ACLs next week. Because we were up, and then Jalen says, "Oh, we're gonna have an early night tonight," and then Washington scores a touchdown. I was like, "Fuck you, man, that's mean." But I don't think you could argue that Seattle is in the mix in the NFC. I mean, they have to at least be a top 4 team in the NFC. I know we lost to the Bucs the way we did. To me, that's a little bit of an outlier. Like, that defense gave up a shit ton of yards and a lot of points that game, and we lost week 1 to San Francisco. San Francisco is not even as healthy as they were then. We got to be one of the favorites coming out of the NFC right now. The way the defense is playing, the efficiency of the offense, you gotta like that team. What I'm really looking for right now, guys, is we play 2-5 Arizona next week, but then we play LA at LA in 2 weeks. To me, that's going to be the litmus test. That's the litmus test on who is one of the top 3 teams in the NFC. The Eagles are, to me, they're still dysfunctional. The Rams are playing great. Finally, the Packers lost another game, so they can't be one of the top teams because of that tie, because they kissed their sister with the Cowboys. But you got to think that the Seahawks are right up there right now.
Yeah, I would put the Seahawks probably right now, as we speak, the number 4 team in the NFC. I'd have the Rams at number 1, Eagles at number 2, Detroit at number 3, and then us. Heck, the NFC West is tough. I mean, I'm glad we won because
the Rams and Niners won.
The Rams won, the Niners won. Arizona's not going to win tomorrow night. They're not.
Please.
If there are any Arizona fans out there, you know as well as I do, man. Your team sucks.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask next on schedule wise. But go ahead, June.
I was gonna say at the bar tonight, everybody was talking, and everybody was like, "Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury." They was trying to figure out what college team that Cliff Kingsbury is going to take next year. He's the offensive coordinator for the Commanders. They were like, "Yeah, he's leaving."
What was the mood of the Commanders tonight, June? You were in the bar in the D area. What were those Commanders fans like tonight?
It started the game.
Okay. Well, hold on. 2 parts. Okay. Before the game started, how were they feeling? And then how were they after the first quarter?
They were hyped up before the game. Jaden was back. At least he had Debo and Ertz, and they were like, okay, everybody was hyped up. They were chanting. They was doing their "Hail to the Victors," singing songs and stuff. At the end of the first quarter, people was yelling, "Fire Dan Quinn."
Were you one of those people?
No, I was just laughing like, y'all was bragging last year.
Dan Quinn to stay the head coach.
Y'all was bragging last year. Dallas tried to tell y'all. We tried to tell y'all. We tried to tell y'all. But
Now,
and then like I said, as it went on, people was like, yeah, Cliff Kingsbury, this team is not going to look the same next year because Kingsbury is going to take one of those high profile jobs next year, and he's going to be out of here, and Jaden Daniels
that
going to have another.
now I will say now, Jalen, if we want to roll back the tape, when they I remember June wishing that Dan Quinn was his head coach at some point a couple of years ago when he was the defensive coordinator. I remember June saying that he liked Dan Quinn and he should have been the coach before they got Schottenheimer. He was like, we let Dan Quinn go, and then we fired McCarthy 1 year too late, and we could have had Dan Quinn as our head coach.
I remember
When
that.
Washington was making the NFC Championship game last year. June, you were saying
I
that.
don't remember that.
Go back in
June.
the archives.
Come on, June.
Okay, fine.
You were
I might
saying
have-
they got rid of McCarthy 1
might
year
have said
too
that.
late when y'all could have kept Dan Quinn. You
I
said
might
that.
have said that. That was out of anger.
You
It was
can
only
say
out of anger.
he's your head coach. You can't be held responsible.
Yeah, I did try checking in with a Commanders friend of mine around, I think it was first quarter when Jalen, what's his name, botched
which
that
one?
punt return. And I checked in and I still ain't heard from her. Not a single response.
Wait, who were the brothers that are Washington fans though? Come on, man. What's their names?
Morgan and Ryan. I ain't even
Morgan
bothered.
and
I
Ryan.
didn't even bother
Hey.
them. They're still licking their wounds from the Chiefs loss.
And the Cowboys lost.
And, yeah.
Because that was a butt whooping too.
Just three
Oh,
in a row, man.
You know, I did have my I don't have it on now, but I did have my Cowboys hoodie on.
The Commanders fans really felt like going to the NFC Championship game in that last year. They're like, we here, fellas. We
That's
here.
right.
The problem with the Commanders, I've said this, they still did not fix the offensive line, and it's still showing. And then they had injuries to the offensive line that wasn't fixed, and it's now starting to rear its ugly head because I said this now. People have tape on Jaden Daniels, so those runs he did last year, he's not getting those same runs this year because people like, oh no, we gotta spy, and we're recognizing what he's recognizing.
Well, he damn sure ain't getting them in the rescue.
Yeah.
Now. He gets some rest now.
All right. Anything else you guys want to mention before we get up out of here? We'll be back tomorrow for the
I would just say it has been a great 24 hours to be a Seattle sports fan because I got to watch the Blue Jays lose Game 7 in the World Series in dramatic fashion. And, at first I wanted the Dodgers to sweep the Blue Jays, just 4 games to nothing. But I'm really glad that the Blue Jays felt like they had a chance. They were 5 outs away from winning the World Series. And then they blew it. And that was just that was more rewarding to me than even this win tonight by the Seahawks. The way the Seahawks won. The fact that Canadians all over the place were crying. It don't get much better than that. To know that Canada's crying and then we whoop up on the Commanders the way we did. It's been a great weekend.
Okay.
Has been a good weekend. Yeah.
Happy
Cannot
for you guys.
lie.
Hey, and don't forget Tuesday night, the college football first playoff bracket comes out.
June is hoping that his Texas Longhorns are in there. And if they're not, then his Notre Dame Fighting Irish will be because he was wearing
There we are.
on Wednesday.
Well,
That's wild.
Texas will not be in there the first round this week because Oklahoma won.
Well, your second team will be you.
Dang. Or Notre Dame. Notre Dame is getting in because they're going to bring the money. They're going to Notre Dame.
Well,
bring the
Texas
money.
should be in there because they beat Vandy.
Yeah,
And
they'll probably be in there.
aren't they like right now probably the top team in the SEC?
They're number 3 in the SEC, I believe.
He don't know. He's focused on Notre Dame right now.
Yes. No, they've
He's got a love affair with that running back, hoping that Jerry will draft him.
He wants love so bad. He wants.
Did you see that 94-yard run he had?
Stop it, June.
What? Why'd you get drafted by the damn Giants or the damn sorry-ass Commanders?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to end up in the NFC East, and you're going to be angry.
Yeah.
I'll be punching the sky.
Although take an O lineman and pass on them.
I cannot wait until our draft show when Cowboys pass on Love. I want to see how many beers June can drink that night. Y'all remember last year June was eating food off the goddamn floor in front of the fridge?
I was drunk. Oh, God, I was so drunk.
I know that drunk feeling.
Yeah. He had like 9 Budweisers that night, man. He was like stacking cans.
Yeah.
He was about to do a little carnival show. He was about to stack them up and make his wife come out there and throw a beanbag at him or something.
Are we still live?
Yes, we are.
Oh, my God.
All right, we need to get out of here.
Yeah, we'll bring this thing in for a landing. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow night, folks. So we will see you tomorrow. Thank you all for hanging out with us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for the Monday recap. So, we'll be live for the next couple of days in a row. So, follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to follow June specifically on TikTok, it is always linked down below. We'll talk to you all tomorrow, and peace out.
Peace.